Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Blood Types. So we're going to fill in the chart just below the notes on the immune system called the blood types. And we're going to go through and just draw pictures and kind of put into our notes what are each blood type. So you may know your blood type. If not, you could ask your parents, maybe they know. And we're going to learn about how certain blood types are compatible together and how others are not. So to start the story, whoa, too far. To start the story, let's start in type A. So in your chart that you have, you are going to draw in the red blood cell in the chart that says, I just have to find the actual wording of it, sorry, that says red blood cell type. So you're going to draw this lovely red blood cell there. Okay, so this red blood cell, as you can see here, has some little bumps and lumps on it that are circular in shape. Those lovely lumps and bumps are called antigens, and antigens are designed to attract antibodies. Now, if you remember from our talk on the lymphatic a little bit and a little bit on the white blood cells, antibodies or lymphocytes are what are attacking and destroying bad things in your body. So, when you have antigens on red blood cells, they attract antibodies. If your antibodies attack your own red blood cells, that's bad. That's real bad. Why? Because it'll destroy the red blood cells. So you'll notice that my antigens have a circular shape to it, where my antibodies have a V shape to it. So type A blood has a red blood cell that looks like this, and it has antibodies that look like this. So in the antibodies present portion, you're going to draw these guys right here. And these are called anti-B antibodies. Essentially, they match B antigens, but we don't want them to match our A. So we have B type antibodies in our blood if we have type A blood. So that's our type A. Now, antigens present are these little bumps here. If I were you, I'm just going to pull up my drawing tool here, sorry. If I were you, when I would draw my antigens present or my red blood type, I would draw my circle as my red blood cell, okay? And I would just draw something that looks like this to represent the antigens. Kind of looks like the coronavirus, actually, sorry. It's maybe not the best way to show it, but that's okay. You're going to draw this all around. Ooh, that's a really lopsided one. And then just write the letter A inside of it. That's how I would represent the type A blood type. And I would draw these all the way around. I'm not going to lie, guys, it's just going to take me way too long to draw all the way around like this. So type A would look like that. You would draw this as your antibody. And then antigen present, I would just draw something that looks like this. All right. So hopefully that can help you with your adding into your notes. So that's type A. So type A, ladies and gentlemen, it's common. It's not the most common, but it is common. Okay. You can be type A positive or type A negative, and we're going to get into that tomorrow about what positive and negative mean. So once you have this lovely red blood cell, this antibody, and this antigen in your notes, we're going to move on. The next one we're going to talk about is type B blood. Okay, so type B, you can see the antigens present are a little bit different than the antigens present on type A. This is going to be B blood. Oh, or not. Not sure why this is not working. I apologize. Okay, so that's not going to be type B. Whoa, ladies and gentlemen, we have the weirdest thing going on. Let's try this again. It's going to do it again, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Well, let's just go like this and not play with this one. This video is taking longer than it needs to. Okay. Go back. So type B. There we go. This is going to work now. So type B, here's my red blood cell. B. Okay. This time, ladies and gentlemen, instead of, that's not going to look good. Instead of circles, we have triangles. Yeah, that's not a very nice picture, but you get the idea, right? Right? You're going to draw these all around your beautiful B cell, B blood, red blood cell here. Okay. So that's what a B red blood cell looks like. Okay. So again, these are known as antigens. All right. And they attract antibodies. So we do not want the antibodies to be the same. Hence why we have a circular top antibody. This is called the anti-A antibody. Why? Because if it was with A blood, it would match the antigen. But again, we do not want that to happen. So in your chart, this is what you're going to draw for your type of blood cell. This is what you're going to draw for your antibody. And the antigen would just look like something like this. This one's going to be better. Little arrow there. Okay. That's what I would draw for your antigen. All right. So that is type B blood. Now I'm going to just run through the different types today. And then in another video, I'm going to talk about compatibility of blood and what makes them compatible and when you can donate blood or if you are an organ donor or anything like that, how come that's important. Next, we have type AB blood. And what you're going to notice about type AB blood is they belong in what's called a codominant relationship. That's a word you won't know until Bio 30, and that's okay. Codominance means that they share, okay? One is not better than the other. They're both present. So you'll see that they have A and B antigens present on their red blood cells. So on this one, you're going to draw something that looks like this. You're going to write A and B. That's really great. You got the idea. And you're going to draw circles and triangles, if I can make this work. Okay, there. So you're going to alternate all the way around. Circle, triangle, circle, triangle. Why? Because type AB blood has both antigens present on its surface. Now, there is no mistake here. You'll notice something is missing right here. There is no antigens. What? Why? I mean, not antigens, antibodies. That's because there are none. If you have type AB blood, you do not carry the type A or B antibody. Okay. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have any antibodies in your body. Okay. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, in regards to red blood cell types, you do not carry type B or type A antibodies. All right. So in the antibodies present, you just write none. But in the antigens present, you're going to draw your two types, the circle and the triangle. All right, that's going to be a really terrible triangle, but you know what I got. So that's type AB blood. So in the world of blood types, you have type A, type B, type AB, and they all work in a dominant relationship and a codominance relationship. Now, that's not going to make sense just yet because we haven't taken Bio 30, but I'll explain what I mean by that. So this is what we would say codominant, they share. Now, this last blood type, type O, is what I would say is the recessive version of all of this story. So if you remember back to grade 9 science, you learned about dominance and recessive, and you learned something like blue eyes are recessive to brown eyes. So most people that have brown eyes have a dominant gene. Same idea. When the world of blood typing, okay, when we write it as the following. We give it a large letter to show we're talking about blood type, and then we put what type we are. So if I was type A, okay, I could be big I, big A, big I, big A. Sorry, this is taking me a long time to write. And that would represent type A blood, okay? I could also write it as following. Type with the big I and the big A. And then this lovely guy here, type O, is always represented by a lowercase I. In both scenarios, this is type A, ladies and gentlemen. We just have a recessive gene present. So in order to be type O, genetically, you need to have two little I's present, and that's how it would be written. So if this was type B, same idea. Instead of big A's here, it would be big B, or big B here would mean you are type B. This means you are type O. What does type O mean? Well, it means if you look at this beautiful red blood cell, there's something missing. There are no antigens. Okay? That is because I'm just trying to write antigens, which is not going so well. There's no antigens. There's nothing on the red blood cells. Okay? There's nothing on the red blood cells that can attach. Okay? So we have no antigens present, nothing on the surface. But what we do have, ladies and gentlemen, is we do have the antibodies present. Okay, so we have both types of antibodies, both A and both B. Okay, so this is type O. And again, type O can be O positive, O negative. All of these can be A positive, B positive, AB positive, O positive, A negative, B negative, AB negative, O negative. Okay, so we're not into the negatives and positives yet, but I will explain that later. But essentially, guys, I just want you to have this in your notes. When you write antigens present, you're going to write none for this beautiful one here. Okay, so that is blood types, very quick and simple with some glitches on my part in the tech. You're going to put them in your notes, and we are going to then discuss what happens when you put them together and they don't match, what can happen in your blood, and what does Rh positive and Rh negative mean tomorrow.